I'd like to call the meeting to order. Roll call. Alderman Koncan.
Present.
Alderman Moiseo.
Present.
Alderman Beadling.
Here.
Alderman Newsome.
Present.
Alderman Tenpas.
Present.
Alderman May.
Present.
Alderman Balco.
Present.
Alderman Rivera.
Present.
Alderman Cunningham.
Present.
I'd like to entertain a motion to seat a chairman pro tem.
I'd like to
So move.
move that Edith Newsome be mayor pro tem.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Edie, you got it.
Can we all stand for the invocation and the pledge? Father, I just thank you for this day. I thank you for allowing us to see this day that we've never seen before and won't see again. I thank you for our city and for all those that work and serve to protect all of us. I'd like to stop right now, Father God, and ask you to be with all those that were injured in those bomb attacks in Boston, at the Boston Marathon. I ask that your grace and mercy covers them. And Father, lastly, as leaders, I pray that you would grant us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to make the decisions that would strengthen and prosper our city so that we all can live peaceably together. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for coming out tonight. I know it's kind of rainy outside. Mayor's comments. As Chairman Pro Tem, I just wanted to give a few updates. The city has a new website, so I wanted to just give some updates on that. Last week, more than 18 of our staff participated in a 4-day training course presented by our vendor, Civic Plus, on the use of our new website. There will be at least 2 employees in each of our departments and agencies that will have the ability to maintain their web pages and also post regular information that will be useful to our residents and customers. The new Waukegan website will be live on Thursday, April 25th, 2013, and our new address will be www.waukeganil.gov. Our new site is fully ADA compliant and utilizes many initiative concepts for easy use. We are working on scheduling a second round of training sometime in May or June for additional users, and we will keep you posted on our progress. If any of the City Council would like to see a demo of the new site and the innovative technologies that it features, please contact Dave Motley to schedule a time to do so. And I think everyone knows how to get in touch with Dave. I want to thank Dave Motley again and Noel Kisher for all the hard work that they've done to work with Civic Plus and getting this new website on. Next on the agenda, we have audience time. And the first name I have is Annette. I can't pronounce the last name. Langren. Yep. Could you state your name, and then there's 3 minutes.
Good evening. My name is Annette Langland.
And your address, please.
2701 Grand Avenue, Waukegan.
Okay.
I'm with the Excel Group. We are a new staffing agency in Waukegan on Grand Avenue that was founded by industry experts with over 100 years of collective experience. We came together with a passion and desire to transform the staffing industry, both from the customer and the employee perspective, as well as to make a positive impact on the city of Waukegan. We are very excited to work with the new administration. We have 2 divisions. Excel Personnel specializes in light industrial, semi-skilled, and warehouse distribution. And Excel Professional specializes in skilled industrial, general office, and professional. Our ribbon cutting ceremony is going to be on Thursday, May 9th at 5 p.m., followed by a reception, and I hope all of you can stop by to meet the rest of my team and to see our new office. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next person is Calvin Matthias. Name and address.
Calvin Mathis, 528 Leith Avenue. That's okay. As long as you don't ask me to sing.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. I was going to say something last time I was here, and I kind of wanted to wait until we got either a new mayor or the previous mayor. And congratulations to Mr. Motley, soon-to-be Mayor Motley, and I know you worked hard, and really I want to congratulate you.
Thank you.
What I want to speak about right now is silence. And I'm not a great speaker. I don't profess to be, but I'm a type person. If something isn't quite right, I tend to want to speak up about it. And if I don't have all the answers, but sometimes you need to lay the issue out, and sometimes it needs to be addressed. But like I said, I'm not sure, but I know you guys are voted leaders. We vote for you, and you've stepped up to the plate, and I commend you for that, for the job that you're doing, as I always do. It's been a tense atmosphere in the last few months, I would say. And I just wanted to kind of address it a little bit. Mr. Tenpas, he said something the last meeting that really made me think, and it really gave me a little thought when he said the olive branch. And I asked him, what's an olive branch? I had the idea. And it means peace. And as leaders, I think you would probably be serve the city well to sometimes maybe to take that advice, and we can get the olive branch going. And Mr. Motley, you being soon to be new mayor, that you might want to take the lead. With this tension, I look at these kids, and I'm so proud of them. They come to the city council meetings, and they get involved in democracy, and that's a good thing. But I just wish that, you being leaders, that maybe the kids could be maybe addressed, not publicly maybe, just on the side. And for the kids, maybe you got to make yourself a little bit more accessible. Maybe you got to come a little early, sit around, get to know the people. I just came to the city, to the debate, got to meet Mr. Beadling down there. Good guy. I never thought that the guy, I didn't really tell you that I was kind of tense when I was, would see him in the meetings a little bit. But after I talked to him, it's not a bad guy to get to know. Maybe, and like I said, you got to be around, but you got to make yourself available. I met other people here in the city council meetings, and we have to be peaceful. I mean, we all have issues that we have to address, but there are ways to address them. And I think that we have to find a way to find peace. Now, that's not to say that we won't disagree, but there's ways to disagree. And I just think that we can do that. And that is all I wanted to say. I'm sorry I went over 12 seconds there, but thank you.
Thank you. Our next person is Ron Osterlin. You're going to have to correct me on that last name.
Hi, my name is Ron Osterlein. I'm the Executive Director for the Waukegan Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for giving me this moment. Just wanted to let you know about a couple of events coming up. Also wanted to thank Annette for getting up. She's one of our newest members, the Excel group. Just a perfect type of member that we're looking for, someone that's excited and really, gung-ho to get involved with the city and the chamber and everyone, all the different organizations out there. I hope we get many more like that. So in addition to our second Thursday of the month business networking meetings, which are, like I said, second Thursday of every month, our next one's at the Residence Inn out at Fountain Square. We have two great signature events coming up. one in May and one in June. The first one's our quarterly breakfast. We're doing it a little differently this time. This time it's actually a workshop, a Tony Robbins workshop. It's great for employees or individuals if you want to advance your personal development or personal development or work-related development. And then our second signature event is our 7th annual golf outing on June 21st. The shotgun's at 12 p.m., and that's another way for organizations to get involved in the golf outing. It's a great place to network, meet people, and promote the city of Waukegan. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Next item is, that would be all for, make a motion to approve the minutes of April 1st, 2013 regular meeting and executive session. Motion by Alderman Koncan, second by Alderman Moiseo. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any questions? Item passed. Resolutions, proclamations, presentations. Item A, presentation by John Shabika.
That was good.
And associates regarding the state of the harbor sand management plan.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
So that was Shabika.
You got it.
Okay, good.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Just giving you a quick recap of where we're at. Shabika and Associates was hired by the City of Waukegan on October 15th to prepare a site analysis, preliminary designs, engineering, and cost estimates to help reduce the amount of sand accumulating in the outer harbor and entrance channel. SA led and attended over 16 meetings with the City of Waukegan, individual stakeholders, the Port Authority, local industry, the Waukegan CAG group, state and federal regulators, and others. One of the most challenging aspects of taking on this project was getting in day one and realizing that when you're talking about the harbor, you're not just talking about the Port Authority, but there are actually 21 individual either landholders, groups, stakeholders, or people involved. And getting them all in the same room was probably like herding cats. The biggest problem statement we ran into is the existing harbor structures and lack of a sand management plan for this section of the Illinois shoreline has created a sand management challenge for Waukegan Harbor. Unlike a lot of what we deal with in other lake levels, we have too much sand right now. The inner harbor and entrance channel are currently being dredged with the purpose of delisting the harbor as an area of concern by 2014. And one of our last little acts was getting additional Hurricane Sandy relief money to help do some additional dredging out there. But what we're anticipating is at the end of 2014, most of the federal money for the harbor is going to stop. To give you a little history, the construction of Waukegan Harbor was between 1880 and 1906, which interrupted the southward migration of the sand plain because the harbor jetties form a partial to near total littoral barrier to littoral transport. As a result, the construction of Waukegan Harbor has contributed to the accretion of almost 500 acres of new land since the late 1880s. It is estimated that the amount of littoral sand transport from Illinois Beach State Park south to Waukegan Harbor averages at least 72,800 cubic yards of sand a year. By the way, too, if you have any questions, feel free to cut me off and ask. Approximately 94 acres of sand had accumulated north of the harbor breakwater, with an additional 60 acres of underwater offshore deposits since 1939, or approximately 3 million cubic yards of sand. And I'd like to thank the CAG group and the Waukegan Historical Society for the photos on the next page. They really kind of tell the story of what we're dealing with. In 1939, the water line was approximately 20 feet from Seahorse Drive. And it was interesting to find reports of even on small northeast storms that portions of Seahorse Drive would be closed because the lake covering part of that road. And you can see in the next slide and on the next page we have 1965, where you're starting to see an amount of accretion. 1989, you're seeing the size of the beach increase. And then in 2012, the water line is approximately 1,150 feet from Seahorse Drive. The nice thing is this section of the Illinois shoreline has been studied and monitored by multiple agencies and groups for more than 30 years. Those groups include the Illinois State Geologic Survey, the Illinois Department of Natural Resources Task Force for Coastal Stewardship, Illinois and the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, the Iowa Institute of Hydraulic Research for Commonwealth Edison, the Waukegan Citizens Advisory Group, the Army Corps of Engineers, and more. Almost every coastal study of this section of shoreline has either recommended sand bypassing as a management tool or a combination of hard and soft stabilization with sand bypassing to help reduce the amount of accretion north of the harbor and erosion to downdrift properties, reduce the amount of maintenance dredging required, and maintain and preserve the last major segment of the natural shoreline in the state. Given the volume of the littoral transport in this area, in addition to the already impounded sand, it is Shabik and Associates' recommendation the development of a sand management plan to include small sand impoundment areas immediately north of the harbor to reduce the amount of sand accumulating in the approach channel and outer harbor, establish a native buffer area to the north, and minimal impact on the coastal ecosystems. Next page kind of shows the proposed area that we're looking at, as well as a highlighted area, which is the area that we would like to be basically removing sand and transporting it off-site. Why was this area selected? It maintains the accreted shoreline profile to the north, meaning the beaches north is not going to get smaller. It implements a buffer between the sand management area, public beach, and higher quality native beaches to the north. It allows for a low-cost, land-based sand removal. It is in line with a concept plan developed by the Army Corps of Engineers. I would like to point out that our recommendation is for a much smaller area than what the Army Corps of Engineers would like to dredge. And the sand management area represents only roughly 5% of the total accreted shoreline owned by the city of Waukegan. Next page shows just a kind of highlighted area of what the Army Corps of Engineers was proposing. We have explored other potential areas, which was looking at removing sand from the swimming beach, which does not improve the sand impeding the approach channel for the outer portion of the harbor. It's also the area north of the breakwater will continue to get bigger. The north side, or adjacent to Midwest Generation, was also explored. That will unfortunately cause the south shoreline to erode, which is the area between the breakwater and Midwest Generation, and it will take years for the nearshore system to empty before the approach channel could improve. And then we've looked at doing a breakwater extension offshore, which was similar to what the Army Corps was recognizing or above. But the north area of the breakwater will continue to build, and it was very cost and timing prohibitive. The next steps for us are to meet with state, federal, and local regulatory agencies to identify necessary permit approvals, submit permits based on the feedback, meet with the industry stakeholders to establish a funding body and timetable so we have an implementable solution that is shovel-ready. To translate that, and one of the initial things that I was challenged with at the first meeting when my proposal was approved was, why should the city continue to throw money at the harbor when it doesn't benefit the city? This little industry stakeholder is the most important aspect of this, because when we looked at those 21 stakeholders that I had involved, one of the reasons that they were not on board with whatever was proposed is there was no kind of universal front. There was no implementable plan or nothing that was shovel-ready. My plan for what we're recommending is still going back to day one, which is to not ask the city for money, but to engage the local industry and other areas that are impacted by that to help them implement the most cost-effective solution. I kind of joked at our first meeting that at the end of the day, if I only had $5,000 to move sand, we would put $5,000 worth of sand and drive it to the south side of the harbor, and that would be an initial immediate improvement. The nice aspect of what we're dealing with right now is Waukegan has too much sand, and several other municipalities that we work with south of us do not have enough sand. So part of this sand management plan is to work with the Department of Natural Resources to allow us to take sand that's accumulated here and bring it to areas that it's needed. And that is a significantly lower cost to those park districts for them to literally come get the sand. And normally what has been done in the past is they take sands from inland quarries. This is keeping the native sand within the native area, moving it at a much more reduced cost, and it's the most native natural solution recommendable. And then, like I said, we would work with the downdrift municipalities that could benefit from receiving sand as part of a more comprehensive regional sand management plan. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah.
Alderman Koncan?
Question I got, and maybe you answered and I wasn't paying attention, I was talking with Alderman Cunningham. How often would this have to be done? How often are we talking about?
Well, here's the interesting thing. We have 94 acres of sand that's accumulated, and the only reason it's a problem today is it's filled in so much that it's filling the outer harbor. Correct. And the approach channel. Looking at the littoral amount of drift, the more amount of sand we remove, the less we'd have to do it in the future, but we're anticipating that at a minimum, it may be roughly around 72,000 yards of sand a year we may want to move.
So it'd be a continual process?
Could be. Part of our big focus of this is to meet with the local industry as well and say, what are your needs? Everybody says we want to keep the harbor at 25 feet. It's a very large expense to try to maintain the approach channel to 25 feet. So to work with them and schedule it where it's more timing effective to be beneficial to them is good. The other thing is to be able to have permits issued to be able to take sand as it's needed elsewhere gives us some really nice flexibility. It's something that if we have the plan in place where if we needed to regionally move sand or move sand to another area that it can be done and we can support another agency, that's a great win-win.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Alderman Moiseo?
So really the reason this is to keep the harbor open, more navigable for industry, so we can keep industry on the lakefront.
Correct.
Okay. So we want industry on the lakefront. We do? I'm just making sure that we want industry on the lakefront. That's not a question for you, sir. That's a question for everybody else. The city of Waukegan and the city council, that they want industry on the lakefront. And as a side, how much can we get for the sand? Can we sell it?
Well, that's one of the things we're working with the Department of Natural Resources. They won't let us sell it as a commodity. What they will allow is other municipalities to come and remove it, which is a benefit to the city since we're dealing with an abundance issue of it.
Okay. And real quick, back to my first point. I just want to make sure that we did this initially, this study, and we paid for it, the city of Waukegan, because we want to keep industry on the lakefront. We don't want anything else down there. Because nobody wants to live next to a wallboard factory that I know of, but I just want to make sure that we know on this council that we want industry on the lakefront. That's why we're doing this. We want industry on the lakefront. That's why we're doing it. Thank you.
Alderman Tenpas?
You said 720,000?
72,800.
72,000.
Yep.
And if you're going to transport that by truck, 12 yards to a truck, that'd be about 120. Well, would you help me? 12?
22.
22? How many truckloads of sand would that be exported? And who's going to pay to export those truckloads down to Lake Bluff and Lake Forest? For years, I know Lake Bluff, when I was a kid, was losing their shoreline. It was waving and caving in, houses caved in down in Lake Bluff. I remember when I was a kid in 5th grade.
We put 8,000 yards of sand in Lake Bluff about every couple of years as a maintenance plan for their public beach.
And where do you get the sand from?
We buy it from inland quarries.
No. What if we gave them our sand here, told them come get it, you transport it? What
Absolutely.
cost would I have?
0.
Oh, now we're talking. Now we're talking.
Well, there'll be some costs there.
There will be cost to them.
Because, yeah, there'll be cost to them, but it'll be cost to us because meanwhile,
roads.
Thank you.
Yep.
Roads.
Yeah, you're right.
Roads.
Thank you.
Look at our roads now.
Yeah.
You know, so, yeah, there'll be some cost to us.
Did you have some, Alderman May? Alderman May?
While I understand Alderman Moiseo's point, and I take your point well, there are other reasons other than industry why we need an open approach channel on our harbor. Larson Marine has luxury yachts with deep drafts that cannot pass through our approach channel right now. You know, you could consider a marine part of industry, yes. So I do think of the luxury boaters that do, and there are several boats at Larson that need the deep draft to get through. And I also think that sometimes we think of other kind of boats that might need deep draft that would come through that maybe have more to do with whether it's a ferry or the tall ships or, you know, whatever other type of boats that might be coming in that aren't necessarily wallboard industry. So I just want to make sure that we're opening our minds to the whole scope of needs for a deep approach channel. Thank you.
Alderman Belko.
Thank you. John, if you look on your pages 10 to 12, the 1989 photograph and your 2012 photograph, the sand extends in 89. You see where the curve comes out on the pier. The 12 photograph shows that it's past that. Now, in 11 and especially in 12, the water table levels went extremely low. I mean, it's been on TV a lot that we're losing. The Lake Michigan is receding.
We are at an all-time record low right now.
How much? That's my point exactly. How much does that affect? Or have you taken that into consideration? It's not just the sand coming down at 73,000 cubic yards a year.
Correct.
It's the water that's receding also.
Yeah, we've got about a 5.5 foot difference between 1997 and today with the lake level. What we look at is from a beach profile standpoint, and if that lake had gone down, we would see between about a 50 and a 70 foot increase in the length of the sand just because of lake level. What we know, though, is from the 89 to 2012, we're over 400 feet further of area that's accreted. Where we're really seeing the biggest impact is just the biggest visual impact is the little elbow of the breakwater. Right. The biggest impact to the harbor is what it's doing to the depth in the approach channel. The approach channel should be 25 feet. When we surveyed it the other day, we were at 12.
Any more questions?
If I can ask one more question.
Alderman Rivera.
Isn't this, regardless that we have to do this, because isn't this a federal mandate? You know, with all the harbors in the United States?
I don't know how much of a federal mandate it is. What I do know is all of the reports that we found, one of the reasons that they were never implemented, including the sand management plan for Illinois Beach State Park, which was to help maintain the natural shoreline there, were never implemented because of funding. And the biggest factor we have here is now if we have a plan that the city supports and we have local industry that's directly impacted, it's my opinion, and they're in agreement of this, that they support that management if it is the most cost-effective, sustainable solution we can implement. And when you talked about Larson Marine and everything like that, they would much rather engage a plan that is permitted than the history that Waukegan has had with those local agencies, which is more lawsuits, bickering, and fighting.
Alderman Koncan, Alderman Cunningham, and Alderman Beadling.
Yeah, this is just right along with Alderman Rivera's question. I was under the same impression that the Waukegan Harbor was listed as a safe port.
Harbor of Refuge.
Harbor of Refuge, there it is. So that, I guess, builds on his question of isn't it a requirement that there's some depth be maintained?
Technically, the Army Corps of Engineers will be able to assist us in the future to maintain those depths. What we know is if we have a plan in place, it will make receiving funding easier. What I've been experiencing the last 2 to 3 years between the federal budget cuts, everything like that, with the Waukegan Harbor being delisted as an area of concern, we're just anticipating that in the future it's going to be harder and harder to get federal funding. What would be nice is to be able to, if we do get federal funding, know exactly where to put it, have an implementable plan in place, and be able to execute that expenditure literally the next day.
Thank you.
Yes. There's a segue into my question. From a funding standpoint, what would it cost to, one, initially complete the dredging or whatever you want to call it, and then a continuation of that from estimates? What are the cost factors in that?
We have not entered into the full engineering phase of this plan because what our next step is to meet with the state and federal regulators for them to help us figure out what's the best way to implement this. Roads were one of the biggest factors that came up. There are ways that if we do this maybe by marine construction, we can move a significantly larger volume of sand without any impact to the roads, but at a different cost. So what we're trying to do is figure out right now with state and federal support and the next direction, what is the perfect way for us to move forward. Ideally, what we do is take out a larger volume of sand up front, knowing that right now we may have some money left over from even the hurricane sanding dredging, that I'd like to be able to have all of those in place before 2014, when the rest of the Corps of Engineers projects are being drawn up here. And once we have that, my goal is to have the local industry, which is directly impacted by those water depths. National Gypsum is the biggest one. They're impacted by almost $200,000 to $300,000 for every 2 feet that harbor closes up. That's a pretty significant amount of money that we could put towards relocating sand if we can do it in the most efficient way possible.
Now, in that cost, will that cost be shared once you guys kind of devise on what the cost will be? Is the expectation, and I use the word lightly, is the expectation is to have all of the stakeholders come up with an equitable amount to cover this cost in the event we decide to move forward? That is the expectation.
That is the expectation.
Okay, just want to be sure.
Especially because the location that we would want to take sand out as part of the sand management plan is being able to bring it off a beach with a front end loader is significantly cheaper than dredging. And right now, the Waukegan Port Authority is looking at a $300,000 to almost $400,000 dredging bill. This will help reduce the amount of sand even accumulating in their recreational harbor. So there's a lot of people that are going to be involved and improved by this.
And I'm sorry, I do have a final question, and that is this: from a cost standpoint, obviously to remove that and the dredging, whatever term you want to use, what about the other soft costs from that, meaning impact of our roads, the other, will those also be included from a cost standpoint to remove this sand?
Once we figure out the best way to do it, we will be sitting down with Tom and the mayor and everybody else to start to identify what all those costs, and especially routes.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Alderman Beadling.
I'm grateful that we're going to leave all options open. I'm not set on housing in the lakefront. I think the number one reason that young families move to a community is the quality of their local school district. And I think until our local school district proves that they can teach our children adequately to score at the state average or above on the state testing level, I think we need jobs. And I'm grateful that that option is open, and I plead the school district try to find a way to teach our kids better.
Is that it?
One more thing.
Alderman Moiseo.
I initially voted no for this. I'll continue to vote no for this until other people pony up and pay. We paid you. You did a wonderful job. You're great at what you do. But then again, we're the only one paying. I don't care about having a plan. We're not going to pay until you have. We did. We paid you, and you came up with a great plan. Now, if they want it done, then come up with some money. But I'm still going to vote no. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Tenpas.
One more question. Back in 1950, 51, 52, the lake levels were very, very high. The water was all the way to the bend as you come into our beach, right up there. They put big boulders up there to stop it. South Beach had a lot of boulders there to stop the erosion. What effect does the high water levels have in regards to the accumulation of sand?
Well, with the amount of sand we have accumulated down there right now, we're not at a risk for any structures being damaged between the low and high lake level cycle because
I'm not worried about that. What effect does high water have on the deposit of sand in the harbor? Does it have any effect, higher water,
does
I don't
that
know
have
if it
any-
increases the transport rate.
I don't know,
Would it?
you're the expert.
Transport, I'm sorry, Dr. Shabika, I've worked with the same company. He hasn't studied this literature for 40 years. The last record high that we had was in 1986. And my guess is you've been around since 1986. Did you have
Longer than that, what?
86?
High school in 52, if that helps you any.
So anyway, Mike, the answer to that question is I don't think you're going to have a problem. The relative range of lake change is only about 6 feet. When the beaches were a lot narrower back in 52, then there were some problems. In 86, I don't think there was many problems.
I'm done.
All right. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Shabika. Next on our agenda is presentation by BAM, Poets Celebrating National Poetry Month.
Thank you. As you say, this is National Poetry Month, and I always like to try to give our young people an opportunity as we train them in public speaking. We also, this is dealing with our issues of violence prevention and awareness. And in doing so, this is an opportunity for our young people to come out, and if you like what they're doing and what they're trying to do and you'd like to support them, we're at 801 McAllister Avenue. I like what Mr. Mathis said about, making the kids accessible to, but the kids being accessible to the alderman, but we also want our aldermen to make themselves accessible to our kids in the community. So you all are more than welcome at any time, and as we've invited them before, we're at 801 McAllister Avenue. So without any further ado, if you like what we're doing here, and we're also having a movie premiere at the Genesee Theater on Saturday. So I have some pluggers here. BAM is sponsoring and promoting a movie premiere at the Genesee Theater, and this is a movie called Let's Shake on It. And so if you all would like to come out and support that, please do. I have some pluggers and flyers. The doors will be open at 7:15 and the show starts at 8 o'clock. So this is a production that is put on and sponsored by BAM, co-sponsored by BAM, and Big Ed's Barbecue. All right? So I just got a couple of young people that's going to come up and give you all a presentation or give you a small example of what we do. And I want to open up first with P. Colbert. This is a young man that's been with us ever since he's been 11 years old. And so he's going to come up and give you a little bit of spoken word in a hip-hop form. So I want you to come on up. P. Colbert, give him a hand, please.
I'm Piers. I'm a member of Black Abolitionist Movement for the Mind. We do poetry on McAllister Street, and I'm kick a little rap to y'all called "Can't Stop Me." They said I couldn't do it, but me, I'ma prove them wrong. If we bet our lives on this, they will be dead and gone. So I'ma make. Hold on. Oh, my bad. They said I couldn't do it, but me, I'ma prove them wrong. If we bet our lives on this, they will be dead and gone. So I'ma make them mad every time I do a song. I know they're out there hating, but people like me gon' stay strong. So you can get your hate on. You just wasting your time. If you wanna know how I'm doing, I'ma tell you I'm doing fine. Cause I ain't worried about y'all, I got better things on my mind. So y'all better get ready, cause I'm about to get mine. Now I'm doing my thing. Why you still run your mouth, but I don't even care, cause getting paper is what I'm about. They want to stop my hustle, but tell them we could take it out. Haters think they smart, but hating on me is a dumb route. So keep doing your thing. Nobody getting hurt. I ain't messing with nobody. I'm just doing hard work. Before I do my business, I always put God first, cause I pray for my haters, cause I know it's gonna get worse.
So that's Piers Colbert. And next coming up to the mic, we got Raekwon. You ready? All right. Y'all heard from this young man last week. He came up and spoke. So come on up, Raekwon. Give him a hand. 'Cause 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 'cause
My name is Quan. I'm a member of Black Abolition Movement for Mine. And this is my poem. Here it goes. My name is Raekwon. I write my songs. I go to Camelot. Our school is so hot. Sometimes I get mad. It's not all bad. I put myself back on a positive track. In West Waukegan, I was born and raised at Camelot. That's where I spend most of my days being relaxing. That's my thing. I also like to rap and sing.
All right, you did good.
My name is Raekwon. I write my songs. I go to Camelot. Our school is so hot. Sometimes I get mad. It's not all bad. I can put myself back on a positive path. In Waukegan, I was born and raised at Camelot. That's where I spend most of my days reading and relaxing. That's my thing. I also like to rap and sing.
All right. Some of these young people like him is like really some of their first times really speaking in public. And so, you know, they're doing good. They've made some tremendous strides from where they were to where they are now. And this young man, I'm really proud of him as well because, as you all can recall, last year I told you that an officer dropped a young man off to me and turned him over into my custody. So this is the young man. He's been with me for every 3 years. For 3 years now, and he's making some great strides. And he's doing real good. So that's what we do, and that's what we try to do in our organization. We're an organization that's about upliftment and enlightenment, and we believe in making changes in our community. We begin making those changes through our youth. Okay, and so I'm going to share a little something with you in closing. For me, poetry has been really important. The arts has been important to me personally, as well as to my family. And so basically what I'm sharing with the community has been a little bit of structure of what helped me out in my community. So this particular piece is autobiographical. It's titled Them Rocks in That Blow. And I really want to take time and share this more or less with our listening audience of young people who is not here. And it goes like this. Bam! Went the sound of the battle ram just before the cops and local DEA of Meg rushed through my front, rear, in my middle, duplex resident south side door. Threw me in first cuz, face first down to the floor. I'm telling you, my young brothers and sisters, if you're ever thinking about using or slinging them rocks, that crack, that meth, that brown, or that blow, please leave that dumb stuff alone, because it definitely ain't the way for a black man, woman, or anybody else to go. So you all can sit back, relax, as experience speak, as I continue to kick to you the facts and the reasons of why I know so much about the dark side and lawyer nature of both man and beast that compelled and possessed me once upon a time not so long ago. So now let me just bounce back a couple of beats so I can paint for you a very clear picture of what was going down on the set of the scene before the boom of the battle ram sound. See, me and First Cuz was seated at my dining room / office table, bagging herb, crushing boulders into ready-sized rocks so we could go out and distribute to El Lingo Lump Cowboy, because see, these was a few of the workers who was clocking on the block while me and First Cuz held down things back at my spot. Suddenly things began to slip. See, we slipped into our third mistake by chilling at my dining room / office table, running off at the lip, opposed to rushing the products out to be locked in our heavily camouflaged outdoor box like we would usually do. This slips me into my second mistake, which was to myself not staying true. Because see, when I first jumped into the game, I told myself I will only be in it for for a minute. Just hit it and quit it. Just long enough to pay a few bills at the end of the week, or maybe to just help make a couple of ends meet. Therefore, I made an oath to myself that when my two daughters played and we slept that night, I would never sling a single thing from behind that same door, regardless of how good the situation got or my finances seemed to soar. But then again, one night in the near future, all it took was a $500 knock at my door. My so-called drug-slinging oaths and morals suddenly fell to the floor. This slips me into my first mistake. I was slipping into darkness. Never said I could sing. And pretty soon, I'd have to pay. This slips me into my first mistake, which was descending into the bowels of a western beast to deal this dirt for the devil, when knowing full well the Creator was awaiting to ascend my mind and my conscience to that of a more spiritual level. So now this brings me full circle to where this message began, with the bam of the battle ram booming at my door as a divine reminder that eventually I must pay wages for sins. Consequently, I have summoned undercover demons to my doors, masquerading as corrupt cops and local DEA DEA to carry me into mortal hell. And for all of those of you who do not know, for a black man, woman, or anybody else, that's jail or a prison cell. So my young brothers and sisters, if you're ever thinking about using or slinging them rocks, that crack, that meth, that brown, that blow, please leave the dumb stuff alone, because it definitely ain't the way for a black man, woman, or anybody else to go after falling and descending into the fiery pits and all-time low of becoming one of my own best customers. I have now ascended as single, full-time dad who has raised 2 daughters, and for me, this makes 23 years of being cocaine clean and crack free. That's that piece. Thank you all for allowing us to come before you. Thank you for allowing my youth to address the city council. Please come out and support us at the Genesee Theater. And as I said before, you're always welcome to catch us at 801 McAllister Avenue, where we're doing some good in the hood. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Thank you.
Or the website, I'm sorry, the website, www.bamforthemind.com.
All right, thank you. The next item on our agenda is committee reports. First, we have Finance Committee reports by Alderman May.
Excuse me. The Finance Committee met this evening in council chambers at 6:45. Our first item is to approve a resolution of the City of Waukegan, Illinois, reallocating 2013 volume cap to the Village of Buffalo Grove, Illinois, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman May, second by Alderman Valco. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Koncan.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beadling. Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Next item, the Finance Committee recommends to approve to authorize the Director of Information Technology to extend the existing contract with Experis Manpower Group through April 30th, 2014 in an amount not to exceed $74,000, budget code 555-915-924-438, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman May, second by Alderman Moiseo. Any questions on the motion?
Is this for, excuse me,
Excuse me.
this to hire one person? Or?
It's an existing position. It's just to continue. It's a much-needed position in the IT department. Apparently, this person is cross-trained and multi-talented, serving many different areas in IT. And they were been here. Is this the third year, Tina? Second year.
Okay, thank you.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Koncan.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beadling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Next item, the Finance Committee recommends to approve the authorization to authorize the Director of Information Technology to extend the existing contract with Blackboard Connect for Government through April 21st, 2014, in amount not to exceed $19,578.57, budget code 555-915-524-412. And this is our reverse 911 service that alerts our residents of boil orders, neighborhood watch items, and the like.
Motion by Alderman May, second by Alderman Koncan. Any questions on the motion? Roll call.
Have they gone up, or is it?
No, they're actually, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Edith.
Actually, 911 is paying half of it,
Oh,
and
okay.
this is the other half.
I'm sorry, I have a question.
Alderman Cunningham.
The question would be, why isn't 911 paying the total bill? Can anyone answer that for us?
They're not paying the total.
I know, why aren't they?
Our water department has been using this service quite a bit for things like boil orders, water main breaks. They were nearly half of the calls for the last couple of years. So in order to be equitable about it, it's been split. And also the state statute that governs 911 spending is pretty clear that any of the spending has to be related directly to providing 911 services. So with so many of the calls being related to water, we thought it'd be safer to split the bill between the two.
Okay, thank you. If you drank bad water, would that be an emergency?
I suppose it could be.
Well, then why can't we take
But then we
money out
wouldn't
of
have called you, so we would have called you for the water boil before that, I would hope.
it? Well, why can't we take 911 money out of there? That's what I'm thinking.
911 is paying for half of the service,
Just half, why not all?
for the reasons I just stated.
The reason I stated, you're going to drink bad water in that emergency. Tell the good citizens, don't drink the bad water.
Okay.
That's an emergency in my mind, but you'll find a way to spend it, I'm sure.
Alderman Beadling.
I've received several boil orders over my period living here in Waukegan, and I've never boiled my water once. I immediately drink it out of the tap. Enough said.
Thank you, Tina. Roll call, please.
Alderman Koncan.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beadling. Aye. Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Next item, the Finance Committee recommends to authorize the Director of Finance and Administration to extend a contract with Agilon Accounting Principals through April 30th, 2014, in an amount not to exceed $60,000, budget code 100-103-624-436. Now, this is a position in finance. This will be the third fiscal year. The position is proposed in the upcoming budget, so if the appropriation passes, the contract will be stopped and this person would come on payroll.
Motion by Alderman May, second by Alderman Beadling. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Koncan.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beadling. Aye. Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
I vote aye. Based on the work that the finance department is doing, I think it's a good investment. I vote aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Final item, the Finance Committee recommends to authorize the Finance and Administration to write off bad debt in the amount of $33,183.57, budget code 100-103-628-100. And I so move.
Motion by Alderman May, second by Alderman Valco. Any questions on the motion? And I do understand that we're still going to go after this money, the company that we have hired to do, okay, we're still going after the money. Any questions on the motion? Alderman Koncan.
I'm just curious, where is this money from? Is it from like parking tickets? Is it from?
Water bills.
Water bills?
Water bills. There's a list in your packet.
Everything rolled in?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Never got it.
Any more questions? Roll call, please.
Alderman Koncan.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beadling. Aye. Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman May. Next committee, reports, Public Works Committee, Alderman Moiseo.
Thank you. Item A, award copper horns to the low qualified bidder, Mid-American Water Supply of Waukegan, Illinois, and the various fire hydrant assemblies to East Jordan Iron Works of East Jordan, Milwaukee, and I so move. Michigan, I'm sorry.
Motion by Alderman Moiseo, second by Alderman Valco. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Koncan.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beadling. Aye. Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Item B, award the water meters to the low qualified bidder, Badger Meters of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, for the fiscal year 2013-214, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Moiseo, second by Alderman Cunningham. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Koncan.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beadling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Item C, award the water plant chemicals to the low qualified bidders for the fiscal year 2013-2014, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Moiseo, second by Alderman Rivera. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Koncan.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beadling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Item D, to enter into a license agreement between Level 3 Communications LLC and the City of Waukegan to allow for a fiber optic cable within our right-of-way, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Moiseo, second by Alderman Tempest. Any questions on the motion?
And we are getting money out of this. We're getting $10,000.
That's what I was going to ask. Thank you.
$10,000.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any more questions on the motion?
That's good.
Roll call,
Yes,
please.
yearly.
Alderman Koncan.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beadling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Item E, to enter into a contract with the low qualified bidder Eco Clean Maintenance of Chicago, Illinois for an amount not to exceed $72,398, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Moiseo, second by Alderman May. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Koncan.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beadling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Item F, grant permission to purchase our road striping paint for the 2013-14 fiscal year from Enos Flint Plant of Enos, Texas for an amount not to exceed $14,947. This price does include delivery to Public Works Facility, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Moiseo, second by Alderman Koncan. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Koncan.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beadling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Item G, grant permission to amend the Code of Ordinances for an ordinance to prohibit glass containers at the Waukegan Beach, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Moiseo, second by Alderman May. Any questions on the motion? Alderman Beadling.
I'm curious where this idea came from. Why?
Well, we, in committee, and if you want to address this, but while she comes up again.
Common sense.
Yeah, common sense. I never thought we didn't have it, but broken bare feet. And according to our garbage collection down there, a lot of our stuff is broken bottles and glass. That's just not a safe environment for glass. It just isn't.
Right. It's pretty common to have this kind of a ban on public beaches in the area and really all over the United States. We have never had a ban on glass containers on the beach. And we were talking last week among the staff with David Motley about an agreement for beach cleanup going forward for this summer, which we'll be bringing to you probably at the next city council meeting with FIST, similar to what we had last year, hopefully. It really came to our attention that this was a big problem. A large percentage of the garbage is glass. It's very dangerous, and also sometimes the people that are cleaning the beach find, buried glass bottles with the top up, broken off, sort of a landmine type situation. So a really easy solution to that is just to ban the glass at the beach. So that's the reason for this ordinance.
What's the fine?
The fine that is in the ordinance right now as a suggested fine is $50 for the first offense and $100 for each offense thereafter. It can be any amount that you all feel is appropriate, up to $750 per offense, but we felt that, in this circumstance, probably just a few tickets being written down there will pretty much take care of the situation. So it didn't need to be a really large fine, but it can be any amount that you feel is appropriate.
We levy fines for loud music, $150 from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., $300 from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m., and I don't think we write too many tickets for that. I was wondering who's going to patrol the beach for. We're not going to, obviously can't afford to have a police officer down there to watch or anything. I'm not complaining about it, but I'm a little frustrated with other things, and maybe I'm nitpicking here, but.
Maybe one way, in my mind, 50 is not enough. Can we go to 100? But if the council doesn't, that way, I know we're not going to have people down there all the time, but when they are down there, if they catch them, it's going to be worth it's worth their while to go down there and get and stop someone if it's a $100 ticket. But that's just my thought, but I don't know how the council feels.
Alderman Koncan.
Yeah, I'd just like to say that, Illinois Beach State Park, they've had this in place for a long time, and it's just common sense. Broken glass and bare feet just don't mix. and I think we're going in the right direction. Unfortunately, I wish there was a way that we could, you know, keep a file or get some kind of, is there anything we can do in an ordinance that would somehow, and I realize this is tough to prove, or it would be tough to prove who would be the cause, but recover medical costs. I mean, obviously, somebody gets their foot sliced open, needs 20 stitches, has a trip to the hospital, and doctor's visits after that.
You know, the common law in Illinois would probably provide for that. If a person had gotten a ticket for, you know, a broken bottle or something like that, then the individual that was injured, if there could be a nexus that could be proved in court, would be able to use that information as evidence in a civil suit against the person that got the ticket.
Okay. Yeah, like I say,
yes, we don't need to include that in our ordinance. That would already happen.
And I think it's about time. This is just common sense. It probably should have been there a long time ago. So I think it's good that we're getting it on the books. Thank you.
I have a question, and what are we doing to notify the community that they can no longer bring bottles to the beach?
Right. We are going to work with David Motley in order to make sure that there's plenty of publicity about this before the beach opens. We already have flyers that we hand out when people drive in with their cars, and this information will be included if you pass it, and also posting down there at the beach and on the way to the beach as well. So if people bring glass containers, they'll have to leave them in their car. They can't have them on the beach themselves. So I think we'll be able to do that.
Okay, Alderman Rivera.
You stole my question.
Okay.
It's okay.
Sorry.
You know, obviously with our new website,
exactly.
You know, we can
yeah.
post it there too.
Good
because,
point.
Let's face it, you know, communication and education is the key to, you know, to an ordinance being respected. So, thank you.
And I would ask for your input on the fine amount. The amount that I said is really just a placeholder, and the ordinance is not in effect yet. So whatever amount you all would like us to put in, we can do.
If anybody would approve a second, I'll go to 100. I'll amend it to $100.
I'll second it. I'll second it.
So it would be 100 for the first offense.
Correct.
Motion by Alderman Moiseo, second by Alderman Koncan to raise the fine to $100.
We'd have to amend the whole motion, correct? Ann or no?
You can just make that as a motion. Okay. I'm wondering what you want for the second and subsequent offenses.
That's the first offense, $100.
100, 200? Second offense, 200?
This,
How about life in prison for stupidity?
can we just hold this item over and bring it back in the amended form?
Sure.
Or whatever we
That's
want?
fine.
Something to
Okay.
discuss in committee.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll have it ready for the next committee. That's fine.
Okay.
That's
I didn't
fine,
think
too.
about it until I got up here, and it just makes more sense.
As long as it's in place before the beach opens,
Yes.
yeah.
Thank you, Ann.
I have one more question.
So, hold on, Alderman Beadling. Are we going to leave this in committee?
I will hold it over, and we will have it,
Discussed in committee.
well, next committee will be, let's see, this is April, this is May.
The first meeting in May?
We'll have it ready before it opens. Yes, yes, it'll
Well,
be
we
ready.
can just hold it over on here, and it'll come up automatically. And
Yeah,
then-
we can hold it over here, that's fine, and we'll have it for the
Okay.
next council
And then-
meeting. That's
okay.
fine.
You can
All
hold
right.
over, Greg?
Yes, please.
Alderman Beadling?
Alcohol is currently prohibited
Yes.
on our beach.
Yes.
On the beach, yes.
Most soft drinks come in plastic containers. Most people buy bottles of orange juice, but those come in plastic containers. I don't pick up on the beach except things that may be obvious if I'm down there. But I've seen people drinking beer in glass bottles, throw it on in the parking area there. I called the police. I followed the car, and this was a Saturday afternoon. I didn't seem to be particularly busy. Followed the car all the way around Seahorse Drive, up Grand Avenue, up Sheridan Road while I maintained contact with dispatch. Got into Beach Park, got into Zion, forwarding the calls. Got to Winthrop Harbor, the car turned. I gave them the street it turned on, and in the end, no one got caught for it. I mean, it took me about 15, 20 minutes, this whole thing, and it was, I don't know. I'm being a pain. I apologize.
It's okay.
All right,
Item G, H, excuse me, put my glasses on, grant, item H, grant permission to enter into an agreement with for the Emergency Load Response Program. This is for the water plant and various other buildings to go on like a gray out or a brown out, and when they run our generators, it would save us money, could save us up to $85,000 over a 5-year period, so, and I will so move.
Motion by Alderman Moiseo, second by Alderman Velco. Is this a voice vote?
It's an
It's
agreement,
saving
so
us
it's probably
money.
an ordinance. It's an agreement.
Okay, roll call. Let's do a roll call.
Alderman Koncan.
What kind of agreement is it?
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beadling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
I vote aye, but I'd like to see the agreement.
It's in here, Coach, if you want me to.
Alderman May.
Never had a
About 5
copy
pages
of my
long.
file.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
That's it.
Thank you, Alderman Moiseo.
Thank you.
Item 8 is old business. Item A on old business, motion by Alderman Beadling, second by Alderman Moiseo to appoint Homer Beneves to the Waukegan Port Authority Board, held over by Alderman Tenpas.
I'd like to speak on that if I may.
Alderman Tenpas.
Mayor Sabajian has good wisdom on item A, B, and C on the 3 appointments, made 30-day appointments that will go into the next administration. I think only fair that they are appointed for 30 days per the Mayor Sabajian. I think the Mayor-elect Motley should review their resumes and decide who the next 4 years he wants he would like to represent in those spots. It may be the same people, it may not be, but I think we ought to defer that to the mayor-elect. So therefore, I think the best thing to do is to vote no on all 3 of these appointments. They're still appointed for 30 days per Mayor Sabajian, and then the new mayor-elect can review their service and review their credentials and see if that's who he chooses to be serving. So
You're not.
that'd be my motion.
I would, Coach, I don't even know if this even had to be on the agenda or if we even need to vote on it. He appointed them for 30 days, they're on for 30 days, and when their 30 days is up, Mayor-elect Motley can bring his appointments. That's how I look at it.
Alderman Rivera.
I would definitely agree with both of the aldermen. Some of the candidates that were being suggested by Mayor Sabajian, you know, the key to these commissions and these boards is attendance. You know, what good is it if you're going to be involved in these boards if you're not showing up? You know, you don't necessarily need to know anything about aviation or boating. You know, you just need to be there when these important decisions are being made. And believe me, I've spoken to the director of the airport, and, you know, this is a credible man that has, you know, very good suggestions. And I would agree with both the aldermen that we should vote no and let the mayor meet with, you know, the director of the Port Authority, meet with the director of the airport, and to discuss new candidates. So I think it's very important that we vote no on this. So, yes, I agree with both the aldermen.
The question I have is, as Alderman Moiseo, they've already been appointed for 30 days, so they have to come back to this council anyway. So at that time, then you can decide if you want to keep those on or, so.
Someone can table. Maybe the best motion for A, B, and C to refer to the mayor-elect.
Or table them.
Right.
Table a motion?
We can table them.
You
Can
know,
I get a?
Mr. Chairman?
Alderman Rivera.
You know, the thing that we don't want to do is put ourselves in an embarrassing situation when they come here and they're in our audience expecting to be appointed. So I agree with Mayor Tenpas. Let it you know, go back to our new mayor that's going to be appointed, and we'll go from there. I'd hate for them to be in the audience, you know, expecting to be appointed, and
What they?
you know, it doesn't happen. So Thank you.
Yeah, that's probably the appointment. They're on there for 30 days, and then in that 30 days, we'll go from there.
So is there any action that we really need to do? Because they've already been appointed. I'll say. Okay.
It was held over, so it should be voted on or tabled.
Okay, can I get a motion to refer it?
No, you can't refer it.
You can't.
You can't refer it. It has to be tabled or it has to be
Tabled.
called over again.
Just table.
Okay, can I get a motion by?
Motion to table it.
Motion by Alderman Moiseo, second by Alderman Rivera to table items A, B, and C. Roll call, please.
Alderman Koncan.
Aye to table.
Alderman Moiseo. Alderman Beadling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May. Alderman Valco. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Item D, motion by Alderman Newsome, second by Alderman May to adopt as presented the annual appropriation ordinance of the City of Waukegan, Illinois for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2013 and ending April 30th, 2014, held over by Alderman Tenpas.
May I speak to that?
Yes, you may.
Again, with the new mayor-elect, I really believe that I think he would like to have some input with Tina in regards to the appropriation ordinance. So if we went forward with it tonight, I don't think it'd be really fair. And how we handle that, I don't know. We could just refer it back to the Finance Committee, or how would you like that handled, Mayor? I should ask Mayor-elect.
I talked to Tina today. There will be several positions removed from the appropriations ordinance. I asked her to if we could hold this over so I could address those, because I do want to add policemen instead of the other employees. So I will be doing that.
Refer it back to finance? Okay. Motion by Alderman May. Is that okay? Second by Alderman Tenpas to refer item D, annual appropriation ordinance, back to Finance Committee. All those in favor?
Aye.
Or is there a roll call we need to do? Or
Yeah,
voice
roll
vote?
call.
Okay.
Alderman
Roll call.
Koncan.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo. Alderman Beadling. Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May. Alderman Valco. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
He answered?
Sam.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Item E, motion by Alderman May, second by Alderman Moiseo to adopt an ordinance amending Chapter 20 of the City Code of the City of Waukegan, increasing the city's hotel or motel occupancy tax, held over by Alderman Cunningham.
I think we, as we've done all night, like to move for this to be tabled or...
I'm okay with it, Sam. I'm all right with that.
I'm sorry?
I'm okay with
To
that.
be honest, I'm not, so I'm still going to ask for it to be tabled.
Right.
All right? Referred back to
Motion by Alderman
Cunningham.
Second by Alderman Tempest to table. Item E, the ordinance amending Chapter 20 of the City Code of the City of Waukegan, increasing the city hotel or motel occupancy tax. Roll call, please.
Alderman Koncan.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beadling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May. Alderman Valco.
No.
Alderman Rivera.
With respect to the alderman's request, I vote aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Okay, no reports in communications, do we have? New business, and before I announce this, we will be going into exec session tonight after Alderman's time on the subject of reviewing minutes from meetings lawfully closed under the Open Meetings Act. So that will be after Alderman's time. New business and recommended actions by Corporation Counsel. Item A, approval of payroll dated April 3rd, 2013 in the amount of $1,348,892.92. Motion by Alderman May, second by Alderman Tempest. Roll call, please.
Alderman Koncan.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beadling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome. Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco. Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
No, you know, it's an oversight on my part. You can, I can call the alderman and, I just didn't put it on there.
The amount. Okay, we're going to remove item B. Item C, Treasurer's Report for the month of March 2013, to be placed on file.
So moved.
Second.
That's just the voice vote.
Hold on one second.
Item C. Pardon? Yeah.
The treasurer report?
Yeah. Oh, B.
No, we have item B.
Item C?
Item
We
B.
ain't paying our bills?
There's a,
Yeah.
We have to pay the bills.
the amount that's not in there.
Where are the bills?
Item B, there's no amount in there.
I neglected.
Yeah.
You got it.
We ain't done what we're doing.
I know, they do the mayor's stuff.
It's here.
You got it, here's the treasurer. Okay, go ahead and read that.
No, I didn't.
Go ahead and read it.
Is that the 8? Going back to item B, approval of bills dated April 15th, 2013, in the amount of $877,631.31. Motion by Alderman May, second by Alderman Moiseo. Roll call, please.
Alderman Koncan.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beadling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Okay, back to item C, motion to place the treasurer's report.
And it's on file. On file.
It's on file. To accept it, it's on file for March 2013.
Motion to receive the treasury report and place it on file.
Motion by Alderman Tenpas, second by Alderman Rivera. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ordinance extending the temporary moratorium on the issuance of conditional permits for nightclub uses in the city of Waukegan. Motion by Alderman Tenpas.
I don't have a copy of that. I never received it. Mayor-elect Motley.
I did get one.
I have an extra copy, all the copies will fit in the box.
Yeah.
Did everyone receive that ordinance?
I did get
Yes.
that.
It's in the box.
Okay.
Email.
Motion by, okay. Do I need to put the motion on the floor?
Why don't you do that? Yeah.
Okay, motion by Alderman Rivera, second by Alderman Valco. Yeah.
Thank you. If you recall, back in November of last year, approximately a little less than 6 months ago, you passed an ordinance placing a moratorium on the issuance of any new conditional use permits for nightclubs while we studied the issue of nightclubs and what constitutes a nightclub and what doesn't, because we've had a nightclub ordinance since 2006, but we've had some issues, especially in the last couple of years, with businesses that were either didn't have a conditional use permit for a nightclub and were operating as a nightclub, or were expanding the boundaries of what they could do as a nightclub. And there were really quite a few issues. So you did place a moratorium on the issuance of new permits back in November, a 6-month moratorium. That is expiring May 5th. And unfortunately, we haven't had the opportunity to really fully study that issue and come up with a new ordinance. And we would like the opportunity to work with Mayor-elect Motley and the staff and really come up, and all of you, of course, and come up with a really good nightclub ordinance so that all of our businesses, restaurants, other establishments that have entertainment may or may not charge a cover for that. We can treat them all fairly and across the board. So we need more time, bottom line. And this ordinance gives an additional 6 months extension for the study period and to come up with a new ordinance.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Koncan.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo.
Aye.
Alderman Beadling.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tenpas.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Thank you.
Next is Alderman's time.
Alderman Koncan.
Thank you. I have a couple of things. First off, I'd like to say thank you to Officer Begay. Angela arranged for the citizens and people of the Second Ward to get together and clean up Willow Road, which cuts off of 120 Belvedere Road, just between Green Bay and Lewis Avenue. They did a heck of a job cleaning that area up. That's one of my problem areas when it comes to people driving through the forest preserve, or the county forest preserve, and dumping trash. They did a nice job cleaning up. The city came by and they cut back all the weeds and bushes, so there's a nice open area. Makes it a little safer for people to walk. So everything they did last weekend, they did a great job. Looks good. Second thing I'd like to mention is that with the summer coming up, I've already had 2 requests for neighborhood watch groups that people called in to get started. So if anybody else is out there interested in keeping their neighborhood a little bit safer, getting together with their neighbors, getting to know their neighbors, and organizing a watch group, please contact one of your aldermen. We can get you in touch with the police department, and they'll take care of setting things up there. Finally, something I'd like to mention. It happened last month. It was the Congressional Medal of Honor Day. I feel very lucky to know 2 gentlemen that have received the Congressional Medal of Honor. One lives in Gurnee, the other in Milwaukee. And I'd just like to remind everybody that these are some fantastic individuals. They've proven themselves in their love of country. And so I just want to make sure that we remember them next year. Next March will be the next Congressional Medal of Honor Day. Thank you.
Alderman Moiseo.
Yeah, I'm briefly going to touch on the harbor again. As long as we have a deep harbor and that wallboard factory can operate down there, you're going to have exactly what you have down there now. It's not going to look any different, in my opinion. I do empathize with Larson Marine. They've been around forever. They have to get their boats in and out. They're a Waukegan business. Like I said, they've been down there forever. But I don't understand the thinking of a federal harbor, and it has to be open so that people can get there in case of a storm and all that. That's that doesn't happen very often. So we have to have a harbor open in case there's a storm for boats to come and have what we have down there now. I don't understand that thinking. We could have something else down there that could benefit the community. Instead, we have to have an open harbor in case there's a storm that comes by, and once every 50 years, so we can harbor boats there. Why do you think that wallboard has been down there forever? They pay hardly any rent. They got a great rent deal, all right? And I don't want to hear about jobs. I don't know how many people in Waukegan work there, but it's definitely not over 30 that I know of. I might be wrong. They pay almost nothing in property taxes. So it's not about jobs down there. There's no one Abbott's is laying off people left and right. That's much more of a concern to me, and Abbott's isn't in Waukegan, but that's much more of a concern than a wallboard factory that doesn't employ hundreds or thousands of people. If we had a place down there that was employing hundreds and thousands of people, then yeah, we'd keep it open, because that is an economic engine. But there's not an economic engine down there. We are missing the opportunity to develop the lakefront because of the harbor and this squabble about the harbor. We're missing the opportunity. As long as it's deep, they're going to stay there. And who wants to live next to a wallboard factory? Who wants to live next to a wallboard factory? That's why they fought us so hard to keep that channel dredged, because they know it. They're making money down there. That's a huge company. They're making money. That's all I'm going to say in the harbor. It gets me fired up and excited, but I don't understand the thinking of it. Maybe someone can help me out on it, but I don't understand the rationale to keep it deep. Thank you.
Alderman Beadling.
The blind squirrel theory does in fact work occasionally. Today I happen to be driving down a street in the ward, and I spotted 2 tires on a parkway. That angers me. And I went up to the door and knocked on the door, and a gentleman came walking up the sidewalk, And turned out he lived there. He was talking on the cell phone. And I pointed to the tires and I said, "Sir, this is a problem." And he immediately said, "They're not my tires, they're the neighbor's tires. They put them there." Well, I knocked on the neighbor's door, which is a 2-flat. Nobody answered the door, a couple of cars in the back. And I took the tires off the parkway and I threw them up in the front yard. I noticed there was a bunch of busted beer bottles, glass in the front yard, 1,000 cigarette butts, so apparently they sit on the porch and smoke and throw their bottles down and make a general mess in their property. And some of the neighbors can be loud at times, the neighbor told me. And I walked towards the sidewalk, towards the street, and a car pulled up that had a young woman in it with a child in there. I assumed she lived there. I went up to the car, I gave her my card, and I asked, "Ma'am, do you live here?" And she said, "Yes." And according to the neighbor, the landlord does in fact live in this property, so it would be a owner-occupied, which 2 units, unless the city doesn't inspect rental property if it's owner-occupied, 2 units and under. But she did. She not only said that the owner lives there, she tells me that he lives in the basement. So that's a red flag, and I was able to relay that information to our able code compliance department. The code compliance officer in that part of my ward is Tony Kuval, and Tony does an excellent job. He's somebody that I think we all should appreciate. And as far as living next to a drywall plant, I wouldn't mind living next to a drywall plant. Thank you.
Alderman Newsome.
Pass.
Alderman Tenpas.
Yes, in regards to the tires, we do have a contract with Viola, and they are supposed to have a tire pickup on certain times of the year, and we probably should get that in the city website, because I should know it, and I really don't have it in my mind. I usually pick them up and take them out to city yards. But Viola does have a contract to pick up tires on certain times of the year for a week or so. So we need to get that in our website, because I've noticed a lot of tires sitting on the curbs also. Also TVs that have been broken into, and whatever they want they get out, and then it sits there, and the garbage man won't take them. So that's become a problem that we're going to have to deal with somehow.
I mark those tires, and if I find them in the alley, they're going to get a dumping fine on top of them.
That's all I have. Thank you, Your Honor.
Alderman May.
Thank you. I just want to extend my thanks to all the people that worked so hard on the new website. I'm really excited. I got to get a sneak preview, and the citizens are going to be wowed by this website. So David, Noel, and Alderman Newsome, thank you so much for all your hard work on this. And I know there's a zillion other people. Thank you, too. I just want to bring everyone's attention at the Historical Society right now in Bowen Park. They have an exhibit. It is baseball season, and so they're doing an exhibit on 140 years of baseball in Waukegan. It's located in the Haynes Museum at the top of the hill at Bowen Park, and the museum is open on Tuesdays through Thursdays, 10 to 4, and Saturdays, 1 to 4. So you baseball fanatics should go down and check it out and learn more about baseball in Waukegan. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Alderman Valco.
Thank you, sir. My congratulations to you, Mayor-elect Motley, Clerk-elect Artis Yancey, and the re-election of Dr. John Schwab. I look forward after next month to working with all 3 of you. That's all I have. Thank you.
Alderman Rivera.
I also echo Alderman Valco's comments. Congratulations, Mayor-elect Motley, and I congratulate our new city clerk, Artis Yancey, as well as Dr. John Schwab. And I, too, look forward to working with you as well. I'd like to really congratulate and give a great shout out and thank you to Susan and Nicole over at the animal shelter. This weekend, unfortunately, my mother-in-law's little doggy Chica died, And they were so kind enough, Nicole, to be there to assist my mother-in-law with her dog. And she obviously was stressed about it, and I really appreciate what Susan and Nicole did. You know, those are exemplary employees that really care, you know, about people and, of course, about, you know, our animals here in this community. So I appreciate that very much. And as far as the harbor is concerned, and I understand Alderman Moisio's, you know, concerns, but, you know, we have to keep an openness about this because, you know, we've got a future. You know, let's think about that. What can we do in the future here? You know, we can't just close all our options, you know, in regards to the harbor. You know, the harbor could be one of our biggest revenue generating, you know, assets to the city. So, you know, it's something that, you know, we just can't shut down on. I think, you know, we should think about a lot of things. Can industry and residential mix? Sure, absolutely. If it's done right, absolutely. So we got to keep an open mind on everything. So that's all I have to say about that. Thank you.
Alderman Cunningham.
Thank you. Just want to echo the same sentiments that has been said before about our new leadership team in the city of Waukegan. I, as an alderman, we're looking forward to working with all of them to improve the quality of life in our community. Next, we talk about there was a meeting of law enforcement, city of Waukegan, our community. I forget the young lady's name, the sergeant, and her staff were there. There was Corey Kelly, yes, they were there. This one. Chief Jennifer Witherspoon was there on behalf of the NAACP. Sheriff Mark Kern was there on behalf of the county. Mark Nearham from the State's Attorney's Office, North Chicago Police Department, Zion Police Department, and it was a straight talk to the community. What an incredible turn of events that happened there. I think for the first time, the community got an understanding of how law enforcement, how all of these bodies work together. And I think what really materialized out of that is an education on how we can work together to improve, you know, the safety in our community. I think what came out of there is that that's going to be hosted in the various cities, Waukegan, North Chicago, Zion, just to build up the awareness and understanding that police is here to serve and protect. At the same time, if there's issues that arise, then we can work to make sure those type of issues are resolved quickly. Second, I want to talk about what an incredible event that happened this past weekend at the Genesee Theater. There was a step show of African-American Greek organizations throughout Lake County, probably the northern part of the state of Illinois. It's an annual event that happens, and I tell you, it was one, and me being a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, what I think the Genesee Theater was meant for events such as this. I'm only hoping not only do we bring those back, we're talking about young professionals, along with the alumni of these various Greek-led organizations. They were there, upper middle class, senior executives, CEOs, emerged in our downtown city of Waukegan from an entertainment standpoint. Commend Mr. Gary Zabinski for really doing a fine job of making sure they felt at home, but more importantly, that we began to understand that entertainment could be a key to revitalizing our downtown, the city of Waukegan. So I was very excited to see that, and not only that, just the excitement of people getting a view of Waukegan in that Genesee Theater. You could hear the wow factor. Wow, I didn't know that this existed in downtown. You could have heard that throughout the whole event. They just did not know. I think the more we do things like that and bring our diversity back to that Genesee Theater, we'll begin to find people who will talk about and market our community much better than we can, because we have set the tone that we are inviting you to here to be a part and to build our downtown. Last but not least, I want to speak on the dumping. Dumping has been, I don't know what it is. It's going wild. It's an epidemic, I think, in our entire community. For me, Adams Street and A Street has just been a dump in heaven. As much as Tom, myself, the neighbors, it's an epidemic. And it's almost to a point, it's a free-for-all. They're backing up dump trucks, putting them in our parkways, and you know, it's very frustrating, not only for myself, but for the residents, and for Public Works. We're talking about on a daily basis, we're going to have to do something more aggressive. Whether it be put up cameras, whether it be stiffer fines, and it's not fine, it is that particular, for me it is, I can't speak on all the aldermen, but for Adams and 8th Street, it is the most frustrating thing from all the residents in there, and it's very frustrating for me to call Public Works, and it's not them. Fact of the matter, it's not them. What they do know is this, these dumpers and these contractors, because they don't want to pay the dumping cost to go to BFI, they dump there at nighttime. I mean, literally, half-ton trucks, pick up the dump bed and drop it. I don't know how we can really curb this, but I think between Dave Marion, Chief Grayhouse, and the collective bargaining with the city, we're going to have to find a way. Now they're moving from there into the alleys. And I don't know, I think from an alley standpoint, 1st, 6th, and a little bit of the 3rd Ward probably have the most alleys. I mean, it is pathetic. It's just down, all right, nasty, degraded people who want to do this. You can't call it anything else. I think Waukegan have a very liberal policy on coming and dropping things off at Public Works, but for you to bring some of the materials and some of the bedrooms and some of the filth that's being there, we have to do something. Dave, Russ, Danny, we have to do something. Because if we don't do anything, it's going to lead to them thinking it's okay to dump in the city of Waukegan. And it's okay to dump on the south side. And I say that because I'm the alderman. I'm pretty sure other aldermen are experiencing this. From now, you can start trickling the tires and the other things. We're going to have to get very aggressive. What that means, I don't know. But it needs to be a signal put out there that we're going to blast them on the front page of the News Sun. If we find and catch you, we're going to do something. That message has got to be strong, because I am just sick and tired of getting those phone calls for the same area. At least moving around a little bit. So those are my comments tonight. And again, I want to commend the leadership, the new leadership that's going to be coming into the city of Waukegan, but more importantly, to the citizens out there who voted. You did what whomever you might have voted for, you did what you were supposed to do. I think if we give you a better reason to come out more, we'll see our city really move in the right direction. Take care. God bless.
Executive session.
Make a motion by Alderman Moiseo, second by Alderman Beadling, that we go into executive session for the subject of reviewing minutes from meetings lawfully closed under the Open Meetings Act.
Okay. Good. All those in favor? Aye.
All those in favor?
Aye. Aye. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. Second.
Moiseo, second by Alderman Beadling.
Come out of
Back
order.
into regular session. Motion by Alderman Tenpas, Motion, second by Alderman Rivera, that we adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
We out of here.
Good job, Alderman.